All right. This beautiful man over here is Tony Pisano. Grandpop, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? Like your age, where you were
80,
born.
I'm 87. I was born here in Philadelphia. What else?
Well, we're going to talk about World War II today and your experiences there. Why don't you first off start by telling me what you remember before the war?
What I
What led up
remember
to the
before the
war?
war, the year I put in before the war. First of all, I was the eighth number pulled in the nation.
Wait, you were the
But
eighth number drafted altogether?
yeah, I was drafted in the beginning. That's the way I went, and they went, and I wound up being in there for 5 years.
What made you want to join the military?
I didn't want to go in. They just took me.
They took you by the draft.
Yeah.
Man. What what do you remember before the war with like all before the United States entered World War II, what do you remember like do you remember hearing about it overseas before the United States entered?
Well, there was no war when I went in. It was a year that I had been drafted for and was going home down to Oklahoma to be discharged. And the war broke out the day we pulled into Oklahoma State.
And why did the war break out?
The Jets bombed Pearl Harbor.
What do you remember about that?
Just that they dropped it, and that the president was on the air saying, in fact, I was in the back of a Jeep coming in, one of our trucks coming in, when I heard that the Japs bombed Pearl Harbor.
Were you
I knew
surprised?
then that we were not going to get out.
Yeah. Were you
So,
surprised?
I'm very surprised.
Were people in your what was your section of the army? What was your corps or your group?
Security. I was in security.
Were they all
Security group.
were they
I
all
was the
shocked?
corporal, huh?
Were they all shocked when that happened? When Pearl Harbor happened?
Oh yeah, we all were sure. We were all shocked. Nobody expected the Japs to bomb Pearl Harbor or anything like that.
Was there any people in your group that wanted to actually go over and fight because of it?
Not really.
Everybody was more sad.
Yeah.
And you were in Oklahoma?
Oklahoma is when
As soon as you were drafted,
Fort
did
Sill,
they
Oklahoma.
where?
Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Was it nice there?
Yeah, very nice.
As soon as you were drafted, did you go right to Oklahoma?
No, first we went down to Maryland. From Maryland we went to Oklahoma. Then we went on maneuvers in Louisiana and North Carolina, and then back to Oklahoma. And when we pulled in the day that the war, Roosevelt declared war.
So, where did you get drafted out of, Philly?
Philly.
Yeah. Where did they take you for training?
Where did they take me for training? First we went to Camp Meade, Maryland, which was like the place you went before you went to where you were going to be assigned, which was Oklahoma. We were in, I don't remember how long in there, but it wasn't very long. And then we went down to Oklahoma, like I said, the Japs bombed Pearl Harbor, and
The rest is history. How did you
our,
feel about getting drafted?
I didn't mind it. In fact, I thought I was going to be,
Yeah.
thought I was going to fail because I was a skinny kid. But it turned out I put in 5 years in there.
So, how was training? Was training real hard? Basic training, was that real hard?
Not for us. It got tougher as the years, as the war went by.
Yeah.
But us, like I said, we went in the maneuvers down. I gave you where I went to maneuvers.
Yeah, Maryland. So, how old were you when you got drafted?
I was 21 years old.
That
I
young?
got drafted. I gone back. I was pulling into Oklahoma, the 22nd of January. I was going to be discharged with a furlough from there, and then
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, and my girl come down. I told her, which was your grandmother, and she came down to find out if she still loved me. She told me that years later.
I know, you told me. That's awesome. How did any of your brothers get drafted? Like Uncle Rock or?
Uncle Rocky volunteered, I think.
Uncle Rocky
He's the
volunteered.
only one. My other three brothers didn't going to service.
Really? Uncle
Georgie and Pat,
Frankie?
no, they never went into service.
Oh man. So how did they feel about you being drafted?
I don't know.
You have no idea.
They probably put more on the table for me to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my mother was up against hard times. And
How did you, when you were pulling into Oklahoma and you just heard that the Japs bombed Pearl Harbor, did you know right away that you were going overseas?
I knew, no, not right away that I was going overseas. Right away that I wasn't going home.
Yeah.
I was going to be discharged.
How long did it take for you to find out you were going overseas?
Well, grandmom came down there, your grandmother, and she stayed there for almost 2.5 years. So it's 2.5 years
That you were in Oklahoma?
with her. And then we came home, and we had little Tony. She was pregnant with Tony. She had him when she first got into Philadelphia.
And then when did you leave to go overseas?
To go where?
Overseas.
That I can't remember, but it was October of 1943, I guess.
How did you get overseas?
Oh, by boat.
By boat? You took a boat overseas?
Yeah,
How long did that take?
7 days about, maybe a little bit longer.
Oh man.
They went over as a convoy, and they were protected by
Planes and
the Navy. Yeah,
how was life on that boat?
not bad. We ate good, that's for one thing. But we weren't crowded. They crowded
Did they give you chores? Did they give you chores?
chores.
Yeah.
No, just the ones that went on KP, which is kitchen.
Patrol.
Yeah,
Man.
and
So what was life on the boat like?
well,
What
we
did
were
you do all
crowded in
day?
there. It was no. You couldn't have no fun in it. The boat was crowded,
Yeah.
and we slept in hammocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 high.
Wow. What did you do? Like, did you go out to the deck? Did you play cards?
I went
Did
out
you
in the deck, but no exercise or nothing like that.
nothing?
No,
Was there any radios or cards or?
people didn't have nothing then.
Must have been pretty boring.
It was boring.
So, this entire time, when you were on the boat, did you write any letters home yet?
Did I write any letters home? I must have wrote letters to your mother every day I was in the service. And I continued when I went overseas. In fact, she used to get letters in bunches, which
Yeah.
I may as well have that photostats made because they're practically the same every day.
Where did your boat land?
Belfast, Ireland, North Ireland, Belfast.
Was it nice there? Was it nice there?
It's a dreary kind of a city, always raining,
Yeah.
but it wasn't bad. We went in, we were like bivouacked on the ocean, not too far from the beach. That's the Irish Sea. See, I can't remember it all too good.
You remember a lot more than most people. How about, where was the first, from Ireland, where did you go?
We stayed in Ireland until we went down to England, Port of Embarkation they called it, and then from there to D-Day.
D-Day?
Yeah.
Where was that?
We were in, what the heck was the name of it?
Normandy?
It was Londonderry, something like that, if I remember correctly, but was an outfit that belonged to one of the big shots that we stayed in, you know. And then we went down to around June. In June, we were wound up on down in England, and then we went overseas. I mean, we went over the Channel.
Yeah.
And we were classed as invasion troops, even though it was D-Day plus 39.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was still invasion then, because it was still a lot to do. Still a lot to do in Normandy.
Oh yeah, because like I said, June the 6th we went overseas, and we were there, and then I don't remember how long it was, but it wasn't too long. Then we started to say they had the Germans on the run. And that's the way we started through France, wound up down in Normandy. And from there on in, it's just a matter of bivouac. And I never really actually fought hand to hand.
Never.
No, I was like a reconnaissance corporal, and we were like a service part of the 818th Tank Destroyer Battalion.
What do you remember about coming to the beach in Normandy?
I shouldn't even say that because we pitched tents, and where we pitched them, some soldiers before that were using it as a latrine.
Ew.
So you can imagine, because all where they done, they just went out there and went.
That's pretty gross. But you saw Saving Private Ryan, right? The movie.
Yeah.
Was that very realistic?
What was that? What?
Remember the beginning scene in Private Ryan where
Yeah,
they come to?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we went in after they got in.
Yeah.
See, then the beachhead was open when we got in.
Yeah.
But they hadn't moved from that section.
Yeah.
And when we got there, it was about a week or two when we got the word we got them on a run.
That's good. When you got to the beach in Normandy, was there still lots of evidence that there was a big battle there? Like, was there bodies and?
No, but when we broke through, it was nothing but dead horses, dead Germans, and dead GIs. And they were bloated.
Because of
It
the
was
sun.
so hot.
Yeah. From Normandy, where did you go? From Normandy, France.
From Normandy, we went down through France, wound up down in southern France. I forgot what the name of the town was. And then we got the call to go up because of the Battle of the Bulge. And we got up there, and then 5 months after we got up there, or 6 months after we got up there, the war was ended. Because we got him on a run, and he beat himself, really, Hitler.
Yeah. Did you have any buddies in the army?
Calisaco, the one, well, I had buddies, but he was
He was your
main
best
one.
friend.
That's the only name I remember because, you know, we were all went out like together at night if we went to a town or something like that. God bless you.
Thank you. Was Calisaco, was he in your group?
He was a sergeant.
He was your sergeant?
He was he was a sergeant of the hell did they call us? And I was the corporal.
Yeah.
I was the reconnaissance corporal. I sat with the lieutenant, and we went and got checked out the spots they wanted us to put the tanks, our TDs.
Did you ever ride in a tank?
It was with the open turret, a tank destroyer, but it was, you know, it had the gun on the front just like all the tanks. But it was an open top where the tanks were. The ones fighting from the tanks, it was all enclosed.
So, did you ever get to shoot your gun?
Did I what?
Ever get to shoot your gun?
The 45, yes. That's
Their little
about it.
handgun?
Yeah, 45.
Did you shoot it at somebody, or were you just shooting it for?
No, we were just shooting the targets.
Yeah.
Never got into combat.
That's lucky.
Darn way it was lucky. Because I was there the 5 months they were in there, 6 months, and I got the Purple Heart for
Getting shot in the leg.
with a piece of shrapnel.
Yeah. So, when you think of Normandy, what do you remember most?
I can't remember too much except that what the heck they had around these farms or whatever they had hedgerows.
What are they?
Hedgerows. That's what I guess they built there for I don't know what real purpose, but I know that we couldn't do nothing with our tanks because you go up and so one of the guys, I don't know who it was, in the tank outfit, come up with the idea of putting like a spears in the front.
Yeah, like a ramp.
Yeah, and no, that they could go into the.
Oh, yeah, like spears on the front of the tank to cut the grass.
So they could dig into over and through the hedgerows. That was a big help.
It did. It worked.
But then when we got them on a run, like I said, there was nothing but dead GIs and mostly dead Germans.
Yeah.
And horses and cows, and it was like that for a couple of days before we got out of the stench and all, the smell of the
Yeah.
decaying bodies and all. Then it was like a field day. We went down to South Ranch, and then we got the call to go back up to the Bulge, and Hitler got rampage.
Did you like when you were passing these dead Nazis and everything else? Did you take anything off these people?
No.
No.
I got that camera.
Yeah, you got the camera. I'll show the camera later, but you got the camera. You got the Nazi patch. The Nazi patch you gave me.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Probably got it off one of the German soldiers.
What about the knife? You gave me that big Nazi dagger
That
too.
knife, I don't remember how I got that knife.
You don't remember how you got that?
Must have got that in one of the houses we went through.
It's a bloody knife. There's blood on it still.
Yeah?
There's still blood on it.
Is it?
Yeah, blood rust. But can you describe like a typical night?
Well, the night started as soon as it got dark.
Yeah.
And all you could do is you sleep, then they break you up for guard. You had like 2 hours a night guard.
Guarding.
Yeah.
So you have to like watch over everything?
Yeah.
Was that ever scary?
The Germans weren't going to sneak in on us.
Yeah, was that ever scary?
No.
No, you were never scared of that. So, what did you guys ever have like days off where you could go places?
No.
Never?
No, I never got it. They did near a while send a few guys. Mike Sergeant, he wound up in Paris.
Paris, France.
And when he described what they went through in Paris, France, I sure would have liked to go in there. He said the mademoiselles were all over them. But grandmom would have liked that.
I don't think so. But oh man. So what did you guys do for entertainment?
Well, you didn't do much. You couldn't do nothing. What could you do?
Nobody had like cards
when we
or
were like in a base camp,
writing.
We would have like there would be a town that had a dance or something. Then they would take us with trucks to that. But very little recreation while I was in the service.
So basically all you had to do was write letters.
Write letters and be ready to fight.
Was writing letters like almost like an escape from the day?
Well, it was you were unloaded. I would say yes, because you're unloaded your fears, and not the fears of being in the war, but of not getting home or something
Yeah.
like that. Hello. Hello. Some damn. What do they call them?
Telemarketers.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad they weren't fighting in the war.
They let you say hello, hello, hello 3 times. They don't answer, I just hang it right the hell up.
You want me to turn the ringer off?
No, go ahead. Well, I could have done that.
All right. Back to the interview. Okay. So, writing letters, how did you send those letters home?
Well, we didn't have to worry about any postage or anything like that.
You just put them...
They made the letter, wrote the letters, and I got grandmom's somewhere around here or somewhere. She saved them all.
She saved all of them.
Yeah, and I couldn't even hardly write.
Man, I gotta look for them. But did anybody have cameras on them? Like, was there lots of picture taking in the war?
If they did, I didn't know it.
No. I've seen a couple pictures of you from the war. Like, the one where you're next to that big cannon thing.
Yeah, me and my buddy, that was Big Q. He was from Wisconsin, Racine, Wisconsin.
Where was your other buddy, the sergeant, from?
Sergeant Barnes Klausacco was from Ironwood, Michigan.
Michigan. You still visit him?
Oh yeah, I was very uptight with him. We like brothers.
Yeah.
Now he's on the verge. He's got Alzheimer's. And the other day I said to Marie, I can't get her. We've been trying to get her, and we couldn't get her. I said, why don't you give her a shot? So Marie calls, and they were home.
And what did she say?
I talked to him, and he says, I've been trying to get in touch with you. He forgets what he's. Well, I do too. But, he's got. I don't think I'm getting Alzheimer's. I don't know, but
He's got it bad.
He's in the throes. Yeah.
Yeah, he forgets a lot of stuff from the
I
war.
think that's what's starting to happen to Grandma.
Yeah, that was what happened with Grandma. What's you gonna say? So, right now we'll take it back to where you're in Normandy still. How long were you in Normandy before you moved?
Well, I say we got there D-Day +6, and I was on the way home in June, I guess it was.
June.
See, six months after we got in there and the breakthrough and all, and means I had a lot of points. I was like I said, the 8th best in the United States. I had that, and then I had my grandson, my son.
Jimmy.
An extra 12 points.
Yeah.
So I got
How many points did you need?
So I left. So I was one of the first out.
Yeah. How many points?
In fact, I was the first out.
Really?
Discharged, yeah.
How many points did you need?
Oh, I don't remember that. It was 180 some I had. I know it was way over it because of having little Tony.
Yeah. What came after Normandy? What battle?
That was it. Just that we come down to the Battle of the Bulge.
Tell me a little bit about the Battle of the Bulge.
And they got we got down there. It was very, very foggy. The planes couldn't do nothing. You could see the Germans walking over there with the white uniforms, and we were with khakis.
Yeah.
They could see us like, and then the fog lifted. Then our P-47s came in and really wiped out the Germans there.
Yeah.
And then it was a picnic after that.
But the Battle of the Bulge, that's a really historic fight. Like, that's really something that you were there.
Oh yeah, that was the end of the war.
Yeah.
That was his last.
Stand. When you found out you guys had won, when you found out that Hitler commits suicide, what was it like in the camps?
I can't remember too much of that, Johnny.
Justin, Grandpop.
Justin. See, that's the board on that.
That's just you, Grandpop. You've always said everybody's name wrong. That has nothing to do with getting old. But Battle of the Bulge, did you see fights, or did you see the planes bomb?
We could see the Germans, and then the next thing you know, we started the trek, and then the war was ended. He made an attempt up there, and it's when he got, might as well say, wiped out. He got messed up with the weather.
Yeah.
Figured it was going to aid him, but I think the fog lifted too fast.
When you were in the service, did you know anybody that wasn't from the United States? Like, were you close with any people from England or Russia or anything?
From our outfit?
No. Well, did you know any people from different countries?
No, just the ones from Mexico and stuff. We had a couple Mexicans in the outfit, but I didn't know nobody in the service period. I mean, in the combative period. Never got near Italy or nothing like that.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, you were basically, what countries did you actually end up visiting?
Well, I didn't visit any.
Well, which countries did you actually end up going to?
We wound up down there in Algiers. We come on back up to. They were in Belgium, really, the Battle of the Bulge. So it had to be Belgium and France and I don't think we were in Holland.
Germany.
No, I didn't go through too much. Like I said, the war ended so quick
after the Battle of the Bulge.
He made his Battle of the Bulge. That was it.
So tell me a little bit about how many tours did you do?
How many what?
Tours.
Scores.
Tours.
Tours, just the one.
Just one tour. So, tell me a little bit about, didn't you tell me before that you were at one of the concentration camps?
Yeah, we went into Dachau.
Dachau?
Yeah.
What happened? What was that like?
Well, when we got in there, they had a big trench. I mean, as far as you could see, and they had start some of the with prisoners of war in there, the Germans,
Yeah.
and they were going to cover them up.
Yeah.
And they were still alive, some of them, but they were emancipated. You
Yeah.
know, they were so skinny.
Yeah.
And then now that happened just before the war ended. That we liberated them, and
How was it? How did they react to you guys?
oh, when we first went in there, the French had two flags, the German and an American, and if the Americans were in that, the flag went out. They'd wave them out the window, "Vive l'Amérique."
Yeah.
Yeah.
How when you liberated the camp, did people like hug you guys and
Oh yeah, the girls came in and they kissed the soldiers. And then they start hanging some of the
the Germans?
the Frenchmen that teamed up with the Germans. Like
Oh yeah, the bad
women
French.
too.
Yeah.
The women, yeah.
When you liberated that camp, did you see like really graphic sights, like really skinny people?
Well, I would call that graphic. You know, that long trench with all them dead bodies in there dying.
Yeah.
They pulled them out, the ones that were still alive.
Did anybody actually come thank you personally?
No.
No.
Just they run around there hugging you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you guys bring any food for them?
Did we give them food?
Yeah.
Well, we had a lot of K-rations we gave to them.
Yeah, that's
A
nice.
lot of them hadn't eaten. And
Yeah. So tell me, what medals did you get when you were in the army?
I got the Purple Heart,
Yeah.
5 battle stars.
Why did you get
I can't even tell you what the battle stars are. But
I
was
still
at
have
the
all those
battle
medals.
in Normandy, France.
Yeah. Why did you get a Purple Heart?
I got hit with shrapnel in the leg here,
Right where?
right there, right above the, what is that, the fibula?
Yeah. Did that hurt?
No, I didn't really know it. When I went back to camp, and this medic come looking for me, and he says, "Why didn't you report to the medics?" I said, "It's only a little scratch." He said, "Did the guy get scratched? Did they got hit across the throat?" He died. Well, I was lucky. I got hit here on the top there.
Do you have a scar?
Huh?
Do you have a scar?
Yeah, it's a little scar there.
Can I see it?
Can. I think that's it. Not much.
Not much at all.
No. In fact, I didn't turn it into the medics. He said, "Well, you could have been that guy that got hit in the throat."
Yeah. You're lucky you did turn it in.
Yeah. Well, it gave me 5 points.
Gave you 5 more points.
Yeah, because that was his idea, though.
Whose idea? The medics?
The medic, yeah.
So,
There's too many dead GIs around there not to be concerned about that stuff.
yeah. So, tell me who told you could go home?
Well, the points.
The points,
The
yeah.
point system. And being I had a small kid, a baby, waiting for me, 2.5 years old, gave me an extra 12 points,
Yeah.
and that got me home first.
When you found out you were going home, how excited were you?
Very excited.
Was it like a big relief?
Yeah. And we came home by plane.
Yeah, no more ships.
We went over and South America. First we went down to Brazil, Natal, Brazil. What the heck was it in Africa down there? It was I can't remember the name of that one. But we went from there over to Natal, Brazil, in Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah, the plane.
Yeah, why'd you go to Brazil?
14,000 miles to come home.
14,000 miles?
Yeah.
How long was that?
No, but I mean, I was in the plane for quite a while, at least 6-7 hours, just to go across the ocean, and then they went up to. I try to remember this. I do remember we went to. No, I don't know. I did. One of the southern parts of. That would be the northern part of South America,
Yeah.
and from there we went over to the islands.
The islands.
Yeah,
The Pearl Islands.
where Castro was,
Like Cuba.
Cuba, and from that place in southern South America, we went from here to Camp Landing, Florida, and then home. But all was plain until we got to Camp Landing, Florida, and then from there we went by
Truck.
uh,
Bus.
Army
Yeah.
transportation, and wound up in Camp Pickett for. Well, now wait a minute. I'm getting ahead of my story, because when I was down there, Mom came down, and then we went. I was in Texas for 2.5 years after
After you got home from the war?
yeah, not after I got home. After the war was over,
Yeah.
and then that's when I called. Well, I told Grandma before I went over that if she wants to see me, she'll have to come down to Florida.
Yeah. Texas. She'll have to come down to Texas.
She did come do that, and see, I'm getting away from my story. I'm starting to come back the way I went.
Don't worry, take your time. We got plenty of time. So, when you got home from the war, when you got home, you got discharged. You were in the United States again. Were people nice to you, or were they mean to you?
No, they didn't. Nothing.
Nothing really.
No.
Nobody really thanked you or anything.
That's what's bad about this country. You fight for them, and then.
Yeah, they forget you.
Yeah.
So nobody, not even one person, thanked you for going over.
Oh, we got a couple guys. You go in a bar or something like that.
Yeah.
One of some of these guys that were loaded to come over and say, "We've done a good job" and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Looking back on it, do you ever realize how scared you were?
I tell you the truth, I was not scared, and I told you the reason why that happened. I was terrified in the beginning,
Yeah.
and then when we went over the channel, and that day I had to go to the bathroom, and you dig your hole,
Yeah.
and while we're there, a shell comes over
Yeah.
and hits the guy next to me, and I got this mark on here.
Yeah.
That was the mark on that.
The guy who got hit next to you did he die?
He was Canatero. He got less than I did, but the guy that was going up, he got his throat slashed.
Yeah.
From the shrapnel.
Yeah.
But he was with the infantry.
Yeah. So you didn't know him?
No, I didn't know him.
What was the most graphic thing you saw? Was it that Auschwitz, or not the Auschwitz, the
When I saw all them dead.
Yeah, the dead bodies in the thing.
And Dachau, and then one time when we came up and went down in the Battle of the Bulge, and they had this big, it looked like a stable, great big stable.
Yeah.
For horses and all. But they had all the dead GIs in there. I went in there, God, there must have been 150 just laying dead there.
Yeah.
And that to me was
scary.
Sickening, yeah.
Did you ever did any of your buddies ever get hurt?
Well, like I said, the guy got hit across the Grovans. He got hit. He was going around the tank. He got hit in the arm. He got hurt bad enough to go back to the medics, and then he was discharged. And after that, I don't remember.
How did they treat you? Like how did the who was the head of your company?
Well, it was. That's something to remember that. Well,
You don't have to remember his name. Just was he nice to you guys, or was he mean, or?
When I came to see Grandma,
Yeah.
he called me and he told me, he says, "You're going to get a pass to go home, you know, and you ain't going to have to come back."
Yeah. Were you really happy to hear that?
Oh, very happy. But see,
Did you come when you got home from the army? Did you come straight to? Did you? Were you living
No,
in this
no.
house, or were you still in
I'll tell you
Philly?
what I done. Now, Grandmom got mad as hell at me. See, when I left to go into service, I was living with my mother.
Yeah, because you were still really young.
Yeah, and when I came back, I said I was going to go see her first, and then I'll go up. I didn't see nothing wrong in it.
No, there's nothing
See?
wrong with that. She's your
And
mother.
I go up, and when I get to the house, I see this old lady running down. Here was my mother coming down. She was talking to the neighbors up the street, and she saw me. Villi me. In Italian, my son, my son.
Yeah.
I says, so she got kind of a little upset about it, Mom.
She was jealous.
I said, honey, I knew that I wasn't going back into her house.
Yeah.
I'm going to be with you the rest of my life. She never did forgive me for that. I can't understand it.
No, I don't see any problem with that.
No.
Crazy girls.
Well, she did. She was a good kid, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at
Was
her.
your mom? Did your mom cry when she saw you?
Did she? She was. I said she gave me well, my wife couldn't come up to the greeting she gave me.
Yeah. So I guess it was good that you saw her first.
Yeah.
Was she?
Well, I see. We always had when we were kids, we had a very close
Family.
family, and the guys, if you said anything wrong about their pet, you had a fight on your hand.
Yeah.
Today they make fun of their parents with boots.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, mom, she hung on my neck and cried, and well, I was pretty strong then when I come out of the service.
Yeah, you were big.
Yeah.
So.
All in all, it was great.
Yeah, it was an experience.
I'm here.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
You can have a tape and know that my grandpa actually served the country and did what he was supposed to and got out alive.
That's right.
When you came home, were you still in Philly or were you at this house in Jersey?
Oh, when I come home, Mom, she was living with her grandmother.
Her grandmother?
Grandmother and aunt, yeah. They let her live there till I got home. They didn't take no money off.
Didn't take no money.
No rent, no nothing. And they had nothing.
Yeah.
That's what got me. That's why I loved her aunt so much.
Yeah, genuine people.
Because I used to send like, my pay was split up between my mom
And
Dot,
yeah, which is grandmom.
my mother, I
Yeah.
meant. Yeah. And what the hell was the third way I'd done that?
Probably for Jimmy.
Oh?
Jimmy.
No, not Jimmy. Jimmy wasn't even around.
Who? Oh, maybe Tony then.
Tony wasn't around. Oh,
Really?
yes, he was. Tony
was a baby.
was the reason I sent. I guess that's the reason.
Speaking of Tony, let me get to this. He had never seen you before, had he?
Just I got that picture there.
Which one?
Well, it's on my bedroom thing.
Yeah.
It's me and Grandmom when we were young, and had him. And
Yeah.
I had the uniform on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he only saw you when he was a baby. What was it like when you came back?
Well, he was 2.5 years old. He was 6 months old when I
Left.
6 weeks old when I went overseas.
Whoa, 6 weeks.
Yeah, and then he was 2.5 years old when I come home.
And what was it like seeing him? Was he real?
Oh man, I grabbed him and threw him up in the air, and yeah.
Was he? Did he real like he wasn't
Daddy,
scared of you?
Daddy,
Yeah, he
walking
wasn't
around,
scared
yeah.
of you. That's good.
That's I guess Grandmom always talked to him about
Yeah.
your daddy and stuff like that.
So he was happy to have you home.
Oh yeah.
How much longer did it take for Jimmy to come along?
Well, no, it was Taffy came next.
Taffy came next.
Yeah, 1 year after I come out of the service, Taffy was born.
That's good.
2 years after I come out of the service, Jimmy was born. Year between them.
Let me get to the rest of these questions. So like you said, when you look back on it, you have no regrets, right? You liked it. I mean, you didn't like it, but it was an experience.
Well, no, I figured we were there doing a job we had to do.
Yeah.
See, and that's the soldier today is the same way.
Yeah.
But they don't want to go there and put a lot of time in and not know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. So, when you look back on it, what do you think is the most memorable thing about it all?
Well, the most memorable thing was when Grandmom came down to see me.
Yeah.
See,
Because you found out she loved you.
because find out if she loved me. Well, there was never no doubt in my mind because she was my girl, and
Take your time. She was
I
a
can't
great
talk
lady.
about it without filling up.
It's okay to fill up. Been through a lot. She was a great lady. Just tell me when you're ready.
Once I keep saying to myself, sitting there and I'm looking, I said she was a little girl when she came down to see me in Texas.
Yeah, she was.
And then tells me that she never nothing. She said, you know, we got to get married. We
Yeah.
gotta get married. I said, absolutely, because it ain't like today. Today they can shack up all they want.
Yeah.
Well, then if you were a large girl, and no way would I, do that to her. And anyway, the whole thing gonna shut. Yeah, when I come home from the service, she still was only 80 pounds.
Yeah, she was real small.
And again, she went up to 160, gained almost 80 pounds with Tony.
She was always a real small lady, Grandmom.
Yes, she was.
But when you came home, what did you do with everything you had? You had medals, you had weapons and clothes, and what did you do with all
What little
that?
bit of stuff I had, I gave you,
Yeah, I have a lot of it.
and
I have that camera. I have 2 cameras. And then I have the patch, the Nazi patch. I have like 4 or 5 medals, and then I have that knife too.
the knife I got that off of a Kraut soldier.
Yeah. What did you think? Like, do you ever talk to anybody from your war besides that guy? Besides the sergeant who has Alzheimer's? Do you ever talk to anybody else?
Well, but we go to the reunion, yeah.
Where's that?
I might go to a reunion this year. I don't know. It's up to Joe. If Joe wants,
I'll take you.
Colasaco called and told me when we were talking to me, you going to a reunion? I said, if you go with your kids, and Joe will go again. See, you can go too.
Yeah, if Joe doesn't take you, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll take you.
And well, Joe enjoyed it, because
Yeah,
his son
it's
was
awesome.
with him, largest. But he's got, like I say, he's got that touch of Alzheimer's, but they also got something to slow it down. See, if Grandma would have lasted a little bit longer, she could have probably taken that treatment.
So, tell me in total, how many years were you overseas?
I was overseas 22 months.
22
Almost
months.
2 years.
And
when I come home, Tony was 2.5 years old.
so let me recap the countries you've been to. Ireland, England, France, Belgium, Germany, Brazil.
France,
Yeah, I said France. Brazil, Cuba,
and the hell they call them? 3 sections of South America.
Huh?
There's three countries down there, like in a part of Texas, part of
Mexico?
From the ocean, across the Mexican, the hell is that lake called down there?
Caribbean?
Who?
The Caribbean?
No. The Caribbean's over,
The other side?
yeah. No, wait a minute. Just came to me what it was, and now they left just that easy.
Panama?
Well, there was 3 states, there was 3 countries down there.
Yeah.
One was Dutch something, and the other was this and that. And I know we went from there to Cuba, and then from Cuba into
Florida.
And then,
You seen it all, Grandpop?
yeah.
That's crazy. Well, first off, I want to thank you so much for doing this interview with us. and I want to thank you for serving the country.
Mm.
If nobody else ever did, it was really a big help.
Well, they learned that later on.
Yeah. Well, it's not said enough, so thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Pisano.